I walked into the restaurant as if I belonged there. Calm, steady. Every head turned. My wife froze mid-laugh, champagne glass in hand, while his arm hovered too close to her waist. I didn't come alone. His fiancée stood beside me, pale but burning, and behind her trailed his parents, his sister, even the best man who thought he knew every secret. The party died in an instant. Silence sharper than glass. I let it hang, let them feel it. We had once been a perfect picture, or so I thought. I met her at a bookstore. She pretended not to notice me staring at the same author she loved. She had this nervous laugh, like she didn't know her own beauty. I fell fast, too fast. We built a life around shared mornings, whispered plans, and the fragile belief that love was enough. It wasn't. The first cracks were small. Her late nights explained away as work. A phone flipped face down. A scent of cologne that wasn't mine. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But belief doesn't erase evidence. The truth arrived not in shouts, but in silence. A single text she forgot to delete. His name, his words, plans made for nights she claimed she was too tired to touch me. I didn't break, not outwardly. Inside, something colder took shape. Revenge, I learned, requires patience. I didn't storm out, didn't confront her with tears or rage. That's what they expect. Instead, I observed, listened, collected. I discovered him, her lover, was engaged. Weeks from marriage, a pristine life he had no intention of jeopardizing. His fiancée was oblivious, his family proud. Perfect leverage. I reached out to her first, the fiancée. I didn't dump the truth on her. I laid it out carefully, like evidence in court. Screenshots, dates, photos. She cried, then hardened. We became allies. Together we mapped the night, the Bachelorette party. My wife had laughed when she told me she'd be with the girls. She didn't know I already knew the venue, the time, the company she'd keep. She thought she was safe inside her lie. That ignorance was my weapon. I gathered every piece of the puzzle. His family, unaware, invited to surprise him. They came because I made it sound like a celebration. They walked in expecting joy. They found rot. Back in that restaurant, my silence spoke first. Her face drained of color. His jaw locked. The fiancé, my partner in vengeance, stepped forward and placed the photos on the table, each one landing like a hammer. Her parents gasped. His sister cursed. The best man covered his mouth. He reached for my wife's hand out of instinct. She pulled away, terrified of the eyes on her. I didn't need to scream. The room screamed for me. He was exposed. She was stripped of her lies. And I stood there calm, the eye of their storm. The climax wasn't violence. It was humiliation. Truth laid bare in front of the people whose approval they valued most. He lost his fiancée, his family's pride, his reputation. She lost me, publicly, definitively, without the option to twist the story later. I had already filed for divorce. The papers waited at home, signed and sealed. Assets divided in my favor thanks to the evidence I'd gathered. When the time came, I would walk away with more than dignity. But in that moment, standing before them, I didn't care about money. I cared about watching their masks crack. Her voice finally broke the silence. "It's not what it looks like." A pathetic script. Nobody believed her, not with the truth spread across the table. I turned to his father, who had once shaken his son's hand with pride. "This is the man you raised. This is who your future daughter was supposed to marry." I didn't need to say more. I left them there, left her with their stares, their shame, their judgment. I didn't offer forgiveness. I didn't offer rage. I offered absence. Later that night, she tried calling. Dozens of missed calls. Messages filled with excuses, apologies, threats of self-pity. I didn't answer. The fiancé didn't either. They would stew in their own wreckage, scrambling for footing where there was none. And me? For the first time in months, I slept without replaying her lies in my head. Revenge doesn't heal. It doesn't rewind time or erase betrayal. But it levels the field. It takes power back. She thought she was clever, thought her secret was safe in shadows. He thought he could live two lives, untouched by consequence. They were wrong. I let them destroy themselves. All I did was pull back the curtain. And in that theater of their downfall, I didn't feel pity. I felt freedom. Final reflection. Some betrayals demand more than forgiveness. Some require precision, timing, and the patience to let the guilty bury themselves. That night, I didn't just lose a wife. I gained myself back. And as their laughter died, mine began. Quiet, controlled, and final.